Mike Paulson from Volbeat.
I'm John.
And?
I don't know. And what?
Oh, I hate those fucking lines.
If you're not in the now, you're in the nothing.
You're not in the now?
Yeah, if you're not in the now, you're in the nothing.
Okay, if you're not in the now, you're into nothing.
Right. This is Mike from Volbeat.
This is John. And if you're not...
You're out. Can we just go to the interview, please?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So you guys are out with the zombie tour right now, and how's that going for you guys?
Oh, it's great. You know, it's a great opportunity for us to be part of a great package. You know, it's two really great bands. You know, huge Megadeth fans, and Rob Zombie brings on a huge show. You know, it's amazing what he's doing, and you know, John and I are a big fan of his movies. So you know, it's a great honor being part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we do our thing, those 40-45 minutes of what it is. You know, and we're having a good time, and you know, the fans seems to be enjoying it and get great support. So you know, you can't wish for more.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're doing good.
Yeah, and it's not bad being on a tour where there's packed houses every night to expose those fans to Volbeat who might not have heard of you guys before. And do you see that happening more and more every night with, you know, drawing on more of the zombie fans coming over to Volbeat fans?
I think you know we're very surprised that so many people are already in when we go on stage, and you know we can see the audience, you know, knowing our songs, singing along, and you know when we ask them how many Volbeat fans there are in the room, there's actually plenty of them. So you know that's a big and great surprise every night, and you know when we do something like that. And then of course we have to win the Megadeth fans and the Rob Zombie fans over, and you know sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. But you know in general, you know we can see that we have our own crowd, and you know, and at least we can please them, and you know, and that feels good.
Mm-hmm. Now, has there been a show so far on this tour that is kind of maybe sticks out in your mind as, damn, that was a badass show?
Kansas City.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We were there.
Yeah, we was at Rockfest, and yeah, that was kind of going into one of my next questions is, what did you guys think about that whole experience with Rockfest up there?
Very pleasant, very surprised actually. Nice weather, nice people, everything clicked basically that day.
Mm-hmm. Now, another big festival that you guys have recently did was Rock on the Range. What are your guys' memories of that incredible thing there?
Huge crowd.
Yeah, really. You know,
Really big crowd.
You know, it was the first time there, and you know, everything just seemed to click pretty well. You know, it's as John said, huge crowd, and you know, they liked what we were doing. You know, if the audience are having a good time, we're having a good time. So. You know, that was definitely a show to remember.
Mm-hmm. What was it like going back to like Rockfest when you guys walked out on stage and seeing that sea of people up there? Was that kind of a little overwhelming, or, you know?
No, you know, not to be, you know, we're used to that in Europe, you know, so it's not a new thing, you know, it's just now it's in America, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so, but of course, you know, being here and building up the name and trying to do some good promotion and starting a little bit over again, you know, it's great to see the accomplishment of still being able to do something like that over here. You know, that's a huge compliment.
Mm-hmm. Now, did that surprise you when you guys come over here to the States and you're getting the reaction you are from the fans?
Yeah, it does actually, because I mean we're a bit more secure when we're at home in Europe, so it kind of always surprises us a little bit every time when we get back, and the audience seems to be slightly bigger every time, which is definitely not a bad thing. So we must be on the right track.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for you guys after the zombie tour? You guys have maybe some headlining dates coming
up?
up?
Split up and enjoy life.
Yeah. No, we don't. No, we don't want that to happen.
No, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. You know, still a lot of touring. You know, the next run would be with Iced Earth and Hell Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We still have a huge show in Germany. We are headlining Wacken Festival. Writing process going into studio in early November. So yeah, you know, a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So it seems like your guys' schedule for the rest of the year is pretty full.
Oh yeah, you know, we already know parts of next year. You know, so.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, it's good there's something to do. You know, it just means that, you know, you got something cooking.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a little bit about your guys' live performance. For a fan who's never seen Volbeat live, what are they in for when they come see one of your live shows?
Well,
A lot of good energy, you know,
Good.
positive energy,
Positive
good karma, without sounding like a hippie. But you know, it's we're definitely there for the crowd. You know, we're here on the road to kick some ass, to deliver. You know, that's why we're here. You know, so when we have those 40 or 45 minutes or whatever it is, an hour, 1.5, we're there 100%. And you know, we bring the energy. You know, it's all about the music, and you know, we want people to be part of the show. You know, and make them feel that we're thankful, and you know, we don't need that much. You know, we're not. It's not about image or cliches of being a poser or have a big service around us. You know, it's all about the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we want to deliver that on stage and show people that we appreciate them for being around. You know, thank them for their support, and so a lot of good positive energy, and hopefully people can, you know, relate to what we're doing and hear the inspiration, you know, which come from a lot of different styles and performers. So yeah, we just want to deliver and have a good time, just like the audience when they pay the bill and walk in and want to see a show.
Mm-hmm. Now, talking about influences, you're sporting some Clutch and some Death, that stuff you're wearing right now. Are those bands that you're into personally, and who are some of the bands that have influenced you musically?
Yeah, you know, definitely Death. You know, I'm a huge Chuck Schuldiner fan. You know, he was definitely pioneer and, you know, the creator of death metal, and you know, I've been a huge fan of that guy since I discovered metal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and Clutch is a great band too. You know, we've been touring with those guys in Europe. You know, they have an awesome stuff, great records. But you know, that's just a small portion of you know, inspiration. You know, a lot of other great bands and artists. You know, it's very random actually. You know, everything from Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash to Napalm Death. You know, that's, you know, in between that's a lot of different styles and musicians. And I know John has his favorite, you know, drummers too that he's inspired by, probably Iron Maiden and Kiss and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now let's kind of go back in time a little bit. Do you remember the first rock show you ever went to?
let's see. That was Accept on the Metal Heart Tour in
Wow.
1985, I think.
Wow.
Early 1985.
Nice.
I'm not sure I remember mine actually.
Was there maybe like one concert you went to that maybe had a push in your career that you're like, that's what I want to do because I'm seeing this?
You know, I've been to a lot of shows, both in the underground and huge shows. So, you know, in the beginning it was all about, you know, when we were tip trading and, you know, releasing demos, you know, with our former band. And, you know, I've been playing metal for a little over 20 years now. So, you know, back in the days, a lot of good underground metal, going into small clubs and listening to a lot of different good metal bands. Besides that, you know, you were also traveling around to see your big idols. You know, I remember selling my bicycle to get to a King Diamond show.
Wow.
You know,
Nice.
back in the days.
Yeah.
You know, that was really something. You know, for the first time seeing him live and, you know, all the theatrical stuff going on. You know, he has a really cool and great style. You know, he's awesome.
I've had the pleasure of seeing him 5 times. So
Yeah.
never walked away disappointed ever. I mean, he's a true performer.
He is.
Yeah, from start to finish.
And you know, he can always back it up. You know, because normally I'm mostly to bands who just play the music without all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he delivers a horror show because he, you know, it comes with his lyrics, his image, his look, you know, everything. So you know, and he can back it up, and you know, you can still take all that away from him, and his songs will still be solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I really like about him.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a little bit about social networking and all the Facebooks and Twitters and stuff like that. How do you think those things have affected Volbeat? Have they been a good thing for you guys?
Of course they have. I mean, everybody nowadays uses Facebook, the internet, YouTube, Spotify, whatever it's called. So of course a lot more people will discover new bands, not just us, but tons of new bands out there. So for that part, yes, it is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. I always think that it kind of took the fun out of the old school days when you're helping promote a band and you're putting flyers on telephone poles and, you know, passing them out to your friends, and now it's just like click, 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 and you send a couple of things.
That's
and
true.
Yeah, you know, the spirit is a little bit gone, but you know, that's just how. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
You know, it's
gonna have
both
to embrace
good.
it.
It's both good and bad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, you know, every time I went out of the door, I always had a bunch of flyers with me in my pocket. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and, that was the way to do it. You know, every time you walked into a store, you know, just spread them all over. Even going to shows, you know, where you really didn't care about the music, but just being there to spread out the flyers. You know, but you know that's the way you did it back then. You know, some still doing it. You know, but you know, it's the promotional tool from the internet. You cannot take away from it that it really helps because it's quick, it's fast.
You can reach
and,
millions of people.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So you were talking earlier about working on a new record. Have you guys already started writing new songs or demoing anything new yet?
Not demoing. We're really not the kind of band who do demos when we work on new songs. It's you know, we definitely have a lot of material for the next record, but you know, we just have to figure out, you know, which songs we're gonna keep and what song we're gonna work further with, and what song doesn't work. And definitely a lot of material. So everything is just stored in mobile phones or on cassette, you know, tapes, with me just sitting on a guitar and singing. And when I think I have something, we go to the rehearsal room and I play it for the other guys, and you know, we work around it. You know, that's basically mostly how it works. But demos, that's we actually never done that in
Not
Volbeat.
really. We never went in to do demo of a few songs and take on. And it's like, well, like Michael said, he had tons of ideas, and then we scaled it down to maybe 14 or 15 songs, and it was like, okay, now we got the songs that we need, and those are the songs that we think are the best. Let's go to the studio. And that's so. I guess you'll never see some sort of the B-side demo kind of
No,
thing.
because there really isn't anything
there
out
isn't
there.
anything.
I think there's a half track somewhere we never finished, but you know, we never go into the studio to record 20 songs and only keep 10 of them. You know, we always come well prepared to the studio, and the songs we come with is gonna be the songs we end on the record.
Now, are you guys comfortable in the recording studio atmosphere? Because I know some bands prefer being out on the road, and there's some that prefer the studio.
I think we've gotten better at being in the studio, actually, a bit more relaxed, but it's still not quite the same thing. You don't really, I think, never really can capture the live feeling, even though we do record a lot of stuff live, but it's not really quite the same. There's always ideas that you think it's going to work, that's never going to work in the studio anyways, and then you have to start all over again. So I think we've gotten better at being in the studio.
We're not one of those bands who use a lot of time in the studio. You know, I think the first record we recorded in 1.5 weeks or something, and then the second one we were only there 2 weeks.
Wow.
Third record's only 3 weeks,
Wow.
and the last record that was 3.5. And so this time, you know,
4 weeks.
Let's see. You know, it's it also seems like, you know, people have kids and wives and family and cats and dogs and
Mhm.
whatever. So, you know, and we only actually, when we are in the studio, work from, you know, 10 to 5 or something. You
9 to
know,
5, 10 to
9 to
5,
5,
something
something
like
like that. And, you know, we definitely rather want to be on stage playing the songs. You know, that's the fun part of it. You can turn up the volume, you can, you know, go crazy. But, you know, the thing is, you need to go into the studio to record something to be able to play it on stage. You know?
Mhm.
So, but the process is pretty interesting because all ideas suddenly, you know, get gathered one place, and it's interesting to work around it. But we actually not that kind of band who use a lot of time in the studio, mainly because, you know, I like to believe that we're well prepared, but we simply don't want to use any more time. You know, it is what it is, and we like to be able to perform the songs the exact same way live. You know, only few songs stands out because of guest performances, but, you know, we can always play the songs live. So we're definitely more a live band than a studio band.
Now, one last question for you. If we were to look at your iPod or your music player, do you remember what the last song you listened to on there was?
Yep, Disciple by Slayer.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool. Yeah, that's always cool. Good question. Maybe I have my iPod.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, what would that be? Yeah.
I know it doesn't count, but you were listening to the new Joey Ramone album.
Oh yeah, we just heard that. The Joey.
That's really good, though.
Yeah, we heard a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Some good stuff on it. But I actually think it was, if we go back to my iPod, it was a Rainbow record or something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, that covers everything, guys. We appreciate you taking some time to chat with us today. Any last comments you want to toss out to any of the readers?
Just that people should listen to Slayer and behave well.
Yes. Should at least listen to Slayer at least once every day. Slayer cures everything.
Slayer and King Diamond.
Yes. Slayer.
Do it.
Slayer and King. Do it. Now.